Hello, everybody. So we are so close to this incredible cosmic opening called Rosh Hashana, where this newness, this joy, this new light that it was never in the world before, that's available for you and everybody in the world is coming into the world tonight over the next 2 days. So every time around this time, my mother passed away between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I always try to do a speech in honor, a story about her to elevate her soul. We call that, may her soul have an aliyah. Her Hebrew name was Devorah Bat Yitzchak, so may her soul have a beautiful elevation. So in her honor, I just want to share some of the words that I was telling to my congregation yesterday. So, many people know a lot about my mother because whatever they do, but what you don't know is that my mother had an incredible ability, even really late in her life, to change her mindset completely and inspire others to do the same thing. Now, what did my mother want me to do my whole life, even though I'm an actor? Be a dentist. That's right. Now, was I running around the house, reading dental books? Was I reading books like The Joy of Dentures? No. But my mother got it in her mind that dentists do well and nothing could change her from that. I remember, over the years, I would say, Ma, I could come and tell you, I am the Messiah. And you would go, that's nice, hon, but you can also be a dentist too. And I would have to have business cards printed up that said, Dental Messiah, saving humanity one filling at a time. I mean, this was a woman who would send me applications to dental school in the mail every 3 months for 18 years, people. But what I want to tell you about, a little story that I want to tell you about, is when I was living in Toronto and my career was going really bad. And my mother had had her second stroke. She was in hospital. She wasn't doing bad, but not that great. And I remember at the time I was really, really down about acting. And I called her up and I said, Ma, you know what? Maybe I should just give up acting. Maybe I should be a dentist. And I thought this would make her the happiest woman in the world. There was a beat. And she said, Hon, do you love acting? I said, yeah, when I get to do it. She said, life's short. Do what you want. Do what you love. Anything is possible. I got a phone. I was like, come on. Why didn't you tell me this 18 years ago? Hello? Oh my God. But I didn't get anything is possible. No, I didn't think that. So I did one of those things, when you make a deal with God. And I said, okay, God, if anything really is possible, then I want an audition within 2 hours, and I want it to be for a lead role. Now, I had not auditioned in months, so the likelihood of this was 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by. And then 15 minutes later, I get the call. It's from my commercial agent. She tells me that she's got an audition for me and the lead role in a national commercial playing an Irish fisherman. Now, at the time, the thing with commercials is that the trend was not dressing up fully in costume, just sort of suggesting the costume. Anyways, and the audition's like in 2 hours. I'm like, no, I got to be dressed in everything possible to look like a fisherman. So I run around and I get the big boots, and I get those big hip waders, the hip waders that come up to there, and I've got the jacket, and I've got the goofy red hat, the goofy yellow hat, right? And I'm thinking, okay, now everything's good. And I'm in the car, and I'm in the car, and I'm in the car. I'm getting to the audition. I'm thinking everything good. And I'm thinking, wait, there's something missing. I'm missing something. I need a fish. Yes, I'm thinking I need a fish to bring into that audition so I can say, hey, here's my catch for the day, or something like stupid like that. So I'm like, where am I going to find a fish? And I'm driving around this area, and finally I see a delicatessen, and it's got a big fish in the window. I'm like, oh my God, I hope they'll let me buy it. I run and I plead with them to let me buy the fish. Now I had $50 left to my bank account. How much was the fish? $45. I was like, I don't care, I'll have it. And the only thing that I said is, would they please wrap it in saran wrap, not in brown paper, so when I go into the audition, I can hold it up and say, here's my fish, and they'll see the fish, right? So now I'm thinking, great, I've got about a minute to get there on time. I'm about 15 blocks away. I get in my car. I'm like, oh, come on, please, God. And that's it. So I'm thinking, okay, fine. I'm just gonna have to jog for the next 15 blocks. And I'm wearing like this giant, like, right, these heavy boots, and I'm carrying this big fish, and I can hardly walk because the boots are killing me. And I'm going through this neighborhood, which is like, oh, she neighborhood, right? And everybody's looking at me. And I finally get to the elevator, get to the building, get to the elevator, go up, find my audition room finally, and then there's somebody coming out of the room. The casting director gives me this dirty look and says, oh, just go in already. So I go in my costume, right? And I jump in and I say, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm late. But you know what? I just got off the boat and I brought you the best catch of the day. And I put the fish down on the table where all the important people are standing behind the table, with this one blonde woman jumps back in horror, and then the guy sitting next to her picks up a fish, gets a smile on his face, and starts, this is for real, kids, starts chasing the blonde woman around the audition room with the fish. And she gets behind me and she's like, whatever you do, don't let him touch me with the fish. I'm like, okay, no problem. She's like, why did you bring a fish in here? I'm like, hey, I'm a fisherman. That's what I do. I'm trying to stay in character. Anyways, it's getting closer and closer. All I can think of is I get her to lift her up on the table so that the guy coming can't reach her. At this point, everyone is hooting and hollering in the audition room. It's going crazy. The guy gives me back the fish, and then he helps the woman. They sit back down, and then he just says, oh, thank you very much, just like that. And then she looks at me and goes, get that fish out of here now. And I'm like, oh man. So I'm leaving with my fish. Of course, who was that woman? You guessed it, the producer who makes all the decisions. So at this point, I was so bummed. I was so disappointed. I'm walking back my painful fisherman boots, and I realize I got $5 to make them. I think, well, at least I can eat fish for the next week. And then I get a call. It's my agent. I'm like, oh no, they probably called to complain about me. So I pick up the phone and she goes, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, did you bring an actual fish into your audition? I'm like, well, I might have. And then there was this big pause. And I'm thinking, she's going to dump me, like right now. She picks up the phone and goes, they loved you. They thought you were amazing. They thought it was the funniest thing ever. And how could you know that the director and the producer have this ongoing thing about fish, and it's an in-joke? Anyway, she says, you're hired. She said to me, in 20 years of being an agent, that's the first time she's ever had an actor book a lead role within 10 minutes of his or her audition. And then she said, I guess anything's possible. Anything's possible. That's how we want to that's how we want to enter into the world of Rosh Hashana. Because when you think about it, when we're coming to Rosh Hashana, what are we all doing? We're auditioning for God. And we have that same feeling like, oh my God, I hope I get the part. And what do? We do what all actors do. We pray and we go, please God, give me the part. Please God, give me the part. Except you see, when it comes to Rosh Hashanah, and God's already decided to give you the part. Yeah, you got the part. That's not the important question. The important question is, what role do you want to audition for? Do you want to play the same role you played last year, or do you want a bigger part? Now listen to this. God wants you to play the lead role in the movie of your life, not a bit player. I'm going to repeat that again. God wants you, all of you reading this, all of you watching this, to play the leading role in the movie of your life, not a small part. That's why he gave you every talent, every skill, everything you need to play the lead role in the movie of your life. You see, if you step up and if you choose to believe that, yes, anything is possible, you inspire yourself, you inspire other people, you inspire the world, and yes, you inspire God. This year, God is waiting for you to inspire him. God gets inspired watching you play the lead role in the movie of your life and cheering you on. And this portion in the Torah is called Nitzavim, which means to stand before the divine. What it's talking about is choosing to step up, stand before the divine, and claim your leading role. Now, how can we be so sure that this year we can audition for and book the best part ever? Well, we need a fish. Of course, we need a fish. But when I'm talking about fish, of course, I'm talking metaphorically. Fish represent tzaddikim, or righteous people. So what we can do this year is draw on the inspiration and the guidance of all the holy righteous people And what is a holy righteous person? Someone who lives the leading role, plays the lead role in their lives. Now, fish also is related to tzaddikim, or righteous people, excuse me, because they're surrounded by water. And what does water represent in Jewish thought? Torah and mitzvahs, Torah and good deeds. So we can be assured we can play the lead role in our life if we choose to surround ourselves with Torah and mitzvahs. And also, the bigger the role, the more mitzvahs you can do. Excuse me, the bigger the role, the more positive deeds you can do. And we have one more thing that our holy fish, our holy righteous people, our holy tzaddikim left for all of us, and that is one thing. It is the shofar. Yes, literally the shofar. The letters Hey, Shin, Vav, Pei, Resh have the same gematria, the same numerical equivalent to the word Efshari, Aleph, Pei, Shin, Resh, which means, yes, you guessed it, possible or possibilities. So this year, when you are listening to the shofar and you hear every trua, every tekiah, every shvarim, know that sound of the shofar is helping you break patterns, change your mindset to believe that anything is possible, that any role is possible for you to play in this life this year. So in the merit of my mother, my holy mother, Devorah Bat Yitzchak, may you all be blessed this year to step up, change your mindset, believe that anything is possible, and yes, play the lead role in the movie of your life so that this year, more than ever, you inspire yourself, you inspire others, and yes, you inspire God. Amen.